Now, I wasn't as obsessed with music whenever Charlie XCX's last album came out called Brat, but I do understand all of the momentum shifting that it did in the world. And I have listened to Von Dutch probably 300 times. So I'm not too far removed. I do understand. I do understand how outrageous of an album that last one was. So when I think Charlie XCX, I think pop music, I think electronic music, and definitely music for the brats, for the girls that are hitting the clubs. So I thought maybe that's what this was going to be. Wuthering Heights. It's a 35-minute album, and I didn't do any research other than just seeing on like this app that I follow that a new Charli XCX album's coming out. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to listen to it. I like doing these little videos. Let's see what this one's all about. I saw it was 35 minutes long, and as soon as I listened to the first track, I got like halfway through the first one called House. I was like, this sounds like a movie trailer. And then my dumbass just Googled it, and I was like, oh, this is a movie soundtrack. The whole album is a soundtrack for a movie called Wuthering Heights. I haven't seen it, probably won't see it, but I like the music. So, and right off the bat, you kind of get the vibe that like, oh, this isn't brat style music. This is not club electronic bangers that are going to make you feel good. This is a totally different vibe shift. We've got a monologue from John Cale with like these eerie strings in the background that slowly but surely morphs into a song, it seems like. And that's when her vocals come in as well. It's really good, man. I didn't know what to expect because I obviously didn't know about the movie, but I wasn't expecting this, but I was definitely captivated, if anything. The next track, called Wall of Sound, is probably the song that I keep coming back to the most. There's a ton of vocal layers on it. It's a constant buildup of a song with really no resolution at all, which is, I always find those songs pretty interesting. It feels like inspirational almost, but also with a little bit of a creepy vibe on this one because of like the theme of the entire album. Some parts of this track feel like inspirational kind of, and some parts feel just easy to listen to, and then it slowly changes into like an eerie vibe that kind of brings us back to the first track. Also, the vocals are just really good. Tell me that you love me, tell me that you need me. I don't know if I sounded quite like her, but that part, I really like that part. That track was added to the playlist pretty much immediately. The next track is called Dying for You, which is kind of what I thought the entire album was going to sound like, before doing any research at all. I think if there was any song that could be like a radio style hit, it would be this one. But it also doesn't take away the musicality of it. Like, just because it's a radio hit and it's not creepy like the last two, it doesn't mean it's bad at all. I do really like the pre-chorus and the chorus. I don't really like the mundane vocals of the first verse. I feel like it sounds like kind of top 40, like too top 40-ish. All the pain and the torture that I went through makes sense at the end. I was dying for you. I mean, the lyrics are good. I don't know if necessarily this is going to make my playlist, but I can see some DJs adding it, throwing it on a set because, it's pretty good. Next up, we have a track called Always Everywhere, which feels very ethereal. It almost feels like you could fill a cathedral with the amount of sound that's coming out of this track. The strings are returning, and there's a bunch of reverb that's pumped into her vocals. And I'm assuming, I haven't watched the movie, but I'm assuming this is during like a pretty trivial part of the movie. Something's happening, and the cinematography is dark and eerie, and it's going between two different subplots. Maybe there is definitely a problem that's coming to fruition right now, and it needs to be solved. At least that's just my assumption. Next up, we have the track that really just shows the separation between the last album and this one, called Chains of Love. I hadn't heard any of the songs on this album, prior to listening to it, but I'm assuming this one came out a while ago because it has 30 million plays on Spotify. I don't know how to really explain it, but this definitely does sound like a soundtrack song, but it's a really, really good one. The chorus is incredible. The lyrics are haunting. The chains of love, you're a prisoner to someone that you are in love with when it shouldn't feel that way. And you definitely feel it just in the emotion of the track. I mean, it definitely gets you thinking. This song also did hit the playlist. It was added pretty much immediately. Next up, we have a song called Out of Myself, which I like the background strings. I like the way she sounds, but the annoying like drum kit sound, it kind of bothered me after a while. Genuinely, I think everything about this song is really good except for the drums. It literally sounds like I grabbed something from Guitar Center and just started I don't know. I don't like it. I feel like this song would have been great with actual drums, but I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking. Next up, we have a really spacey track called Open Up. That's definitely like a transition track, but it is really good. I would love to know what's happening in the movie during this track, because it has to be something pretty ominous. I don't even know what the movie's about, so I should probably look that up. The next song, called Seeing Things, does feel like more of a complete song. It doesn't necessarily feel like a soundtrack song. I do feel like the vocals in the verses are a little mundane. I feel like it's the same note over and dun 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 dun. That's kind of what it feels like. The lyrics are pretty good though. You're so in love with someone and you're missing them that you start to see them when they're not there. So I feel like that's, easy enough to follow along with. Next track, called Altars. I actually wrote it down that it's a skip for me. I was not a fan of the vocals, but as I listen to it more and more, I think it's slowly creeping up and becoming one of like my favorite tracks on the album. I think maybe first listen, I didn't really understand the decisions she was making on why she was singing the way she does. I think the song starts off and she very obviously can't hit like this low note that she's striving to do, but she attempts it anyway, which in a weird sense kind of adds to the vibe of the song and like kind of the entire theme of the song and even kind of the album. This song seems to be about coming to the realization that you don't need someone, you don't need this person in order to not feel alone, especially if they're bad for you in general. At least that's what I got out of it. Next up, we have the track Eyes of the World, which is another song with that very low baritone vocals and also a little bit of talking, which I never really liked the talking element. Like the, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, you're gonna think the things about me anyway, or whatever. See, I don't know. I couldn't. I wanted to like it, but I just couldn't. I can't imagine where this fits in the movie. The chorus is a little bit more powerful, so I'm assuming maybe that's the part featured in the movie, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. My Reminder does seem like a track that was a little bit more what I was expecting prior to listening, but also it does have the strings, which I do enjoy the fact that there's those like eerie strings that are added on every single track. It seems like it does bring that like ominous tone to the entire album, which I'm assuming, like I said, has something to do with the movie. I don't know. But the fact that you can incorporate like a electronic pop, like electronic British pop style of song like My Reminder and still add in dark, eerie tones in it, it can't have been done that often. Maybe it has. I don't know. I'm not a big British electric pop type person, but I'm assuming it can't have been done that often. I think this track is good and it does that very well. I don't know if I would necessarily seek it out, but I definitely wouldn't skip it. I am a sucker for good outros, and especially on albums with such strong themes, obviously like this one. I think this one is really, really good. It does feel like a proper outro to not only an album, but to a movie. It feels dark, and the strings come back pretty heavy, which is nice. There's lots of tone and like building in this track, and I think it was a really good send-off to the album. In both the climax of the song and also when the song ends, it still has that like, I don't know if it's a violin, but it's that string that makes your eye twitch a little bit, but it's almost beautiful and it's almost terrifying, and it's added twice in one track. And I think it's good. I really do think it's good. I enjoyed the album. I thought it was going to be like a fast-paced album that I could add a couple of tracks to the playlist, but regardless, I think it's a good listen through. It's only 35 minutes long or something like that, and I definitely think it's worth the listen. And I don't know, it might actually make me want to watch the movie. I have no idea what the movie's about, but I feel like it could be like 50 Shades of Grey-ish, but instead of sex, it's heartbreak. I don't know if that makes any sense. I would rate this album like a copper pickaxe. Just a plain copper pickaxe. I mean, it's good, but it's probably not going to stay in my hand forever, but I'll use it when I need it. All right. Appreciate you guys. Let me know what albums you're looking forward to in 2026. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.